Hello there, welcome to a demonstration on how you can use Excel functions to find least squares coefficients. Right, there are different ways of actually doing this, but this particular demonstration is going to be based on a variety of functions within Excel that we can actually use. Right, so again, as usual, what is the working definition of least squares regression? It is a method that is used in statistics to find the best fitting line through a set of data points, right? So the goal is to minimize the sum of the square differences between the observed values and the values that are predicted by the line. Okay, so now what are we trying to do here? We are trying to see if we can solve this linear equation by using some Excel functions, right? So that we can calculate, for example, the slope, and we can calculate the intercept, right? So we are actually going to be able to calculate M, and we're also going to be able to calculate B. And then, of course, we can substitute X based on whatever it is that we're actually looking for. In this particular case, the X will be square footage. So which square footage do we want to predict its home market value? All right. So once we have demonstrated how you can actually use you can calculate the slope using the function that's actually inbuilt in Excel, and also the intercept, which is also another function that's actually available in Excel. We will be able to solve that, and then we can also use another function in Excel that actually combines both, right? So you can actually use one function to just calculate the market value right away. Okay, so now that we've gotten some housekeeping issues out of the way, we can remove that from here. Well, we can keep it close enough because you don't need as much space anyway. So it's important to understand that what we're trying to do here is we are trying to calculate the market value, and it's actually going to be based on y is equal to mx plus b, right? That's basically what we're trying to do here. All right, so what is our slope? So our slope is going to be equal sign slope. So we can call up the slope function, and it does tell us that we need to select the dependent variable, the y's, right? So the dependent variable is going to be the market value, and then comma, and then it says what is the independent variable, which will be our square footage, closing parenthesis. And so we do have our slope right there. What about intercept? Okay, so equal sign intercept calls up, we activate the function, and again it's asking for the dependent variable. We select that range. It's also asking for the independent variable, so we select that, closing parenthesis, and before we know it, we have got our intercept. So now based on that, our y is equal to, we can now say, in this particular case, open parenthesis, we know that m is actually our slope, right? So we can type in that. First of all, we just want to be able to show the values. Now it should be that, and multiplied by, so the square footage we're actually looking for is 1750. I checked on the list and noticed that there's no square footage of that very value. So we can actually use that, and then plus the intercept, which is 32673.22. Okay, so basically it looks more like that, and we can actually convert this into a formula. okay, by just putting an equal sign here. Okay, and here we can see that it's telling us that the market value of a 1,750 square footage house will be 93,986. Right. Okay, so that's actually one way of doing that. So we use the slope function and intercept function, and then we substitute those values. But there is yet one more function that's actually available in Excel, just in case you didn't know, right? And it's called trend, the trend function. Okay, so what we do here is, let me create a little bit of space there. So we enter the equal sign and trend. So we call up the function, and then of course actually asking us to select the dependent variable, which is this data range, okay, comma, and it's asking for the independent variable, which is the square footage, comma, and then of course it's now saying what is the square footage you would want to generate a market value for. We want to be consistent. We can use that 1750 that we used on the previous one. Then closing parenthesis, we press enter, and before you know it, we've got exactly the same value. Isn't that cool? All right, so you can actually calculate the least squares coefficients either individually or collectively, right? But of course, you need to know what it is that you are trying to predict. So in this particular case, we had to come up with we had to substitute any square footage value right there. And again, you can just go in there and just substitute, change that 1750 to something else, and we'll be able to get the best estimate of what the market value is likely to be. I hope you found this very helpful, and hopefully just added one more dimension to your understanding of how you can actually use Excel to resolve least squares regression. And in this particular case, calculating the necessary coefficients that you need to resolve the linear equation. Right, thank you so much for watching, and again, as usual, like the video, please share it, and of course, without any doubt, subscribe so that you can continue to get useful tips about statistics and many other topics. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.